Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Learn with Satish Kumar Jayachandran, and also I am welcoming you to this particular series Complete Guide to React.js. So in this tutorial we are going to see the introduction in the React.js, and before start of this tutorial I am also going to give a brief introduction about myself, about my background as well, and if you're not interested please feel free to skip that. And later I am also going to explain why I have created this tutorial and what is a user driven approach is all about. So those are all the things that I'm going to explain in this tutorial. So let me give a brief introduction about myself, and my name is Satish, and as of now I'm having a 12 years of experience in software development and still it's going on. And over here I have mentioned some few technologies, like these were some of the few things that I have worked on, and there are a lot of other things I also worked on. I didn't want to put it over here so the slide doesn't become so messy of all about. And my aim is like whatever the knowledge that I have gained, I'm a person like where I want to distribute to someone else, but there is no kind of any medium like where I can just sit and help them in learning. And yes, I just started a YouTube channel, and over here I'm going to put each and every series whatever I have learned and whatever that is keen interested is all about. And I'm also to explain you guys only 10 minutes per day. That is what my aim, because I don't want to consume more than 10 minutes of your time, and each and everyone have a should have a practical exposure as well. So that is what the main advantage of this particular tutorial as well. And the reason why I have created this tutorial is like if you take a look at some of the tutorials which is outside, each and every tutorial is cost much, and they won't give enough details if it is free, and they would ask you to go and refer in this and this site and gain the knowledge like that, and otherwise it won't be from the scratch itself. When I say scratch, what I am planning is, if someone, a layman who doesn't know what is React.js itself, and he knows something like what is computer, what is HTML, JavaScript, if he refers my website, he should be a React advanced developer. Like at the end of viewing all the videos that I have created, at the end you should be an advanced React.js developer. That's what my aim is all about, and that is what I am just planning to do it, and that's why I created this tutorial as well. And for a reference, I would suggest you don't have to take a look at any tutorial itself, or you don't have to take a look at any source. If you just refer my tutorial alone is enough, more than enough, that I'll be telling you all the concepts, what are all the things that is present in the React.js from the scratch till the end. Either it goes to 500 videos or 400 videos, whatever it is, I'm going to explain it from the scratch, and it is totally free of cost. You don't have to pay anything, and I'm not going to tell you that for the advanced topic like this and this, go and refer like this and all. I won't be doing it, because most of the YouTubers right now, those who create any content in the YouTube, they are doing it. I don't want to mention the name, but I don't also want to put down their efforts as well. And hence, I have created this tutorials, and there is a typo over there in the slide. What I mean to mention is just spend 10 minutes a day. That's it, more than enough. And each and every day you have to learn one concept with practical knowledge. That's what my planning is all about. So enough of giving the brief introduction about myself and here and what are all about. It is a bit boring. I know that. Even I got bored. And right now we'll get into the topic. What is React.js? React.js is a JavaScript library which is used for UI design. So whenever someone is asking in an interview, just give this alone, and by giving this statement is alone is not enough. You have to explain what it is. So what is JavaScript library? So we know JavaScript, but what is JavaScript library? Say for example, if you want to bring an image in front of your web page, that will be writing some few lines of code in JavaScript. And this would be around 10 lines or 20 lines, or sometimes it may be 100 lines, the way the effect should look like. And this is quite complex, and each and every time you have to write this 100 lines of code. Say for example, this 100 lines of code would be common, and you have written some code or library. That is what library is all about. If you written some common code somewhere else and it is stored in a folder, and this folder would be referred from the active programming wherever I am doing, and just within 2 to 3 lines of code I can able to achieve rendering the image with effects. So this particular folder or the contents whichever I am using, right, that is called as a library. ReactJS is one such JavaScript library which is used for UI design alone. So this is not used for any backend language, something like this is only as a UI design we are using this ReactJS library, and it is a user driven approach. What you mean by user driven approach? User driven approach is that, like, where you are writing a programming language, right? At that time when you are coding, you have to keep user in your mind. So that is called as a user driven approach. And the ReactJS is a component based architecture. So for example, take a Java program. So if you are coding anything in the Java programming, each and every class that you are going to write, right, is going to be a Java class. Like that, over here, each and everything that we are going to code would be a components, and that is called component based architecture. And ReactJS was developed by Facebook, and it is still maintained by them, and it is open source. So it is said that even a Facebook was developed by using the components, that is nothing but the ReactJS. And if you just go into your home page of the Facebook, even that particular web page itself is developed by 10,000 components. So imagine like how many number of components would be there in the picture. And there are also other JavaScripts available in open source. They are nothing but the EXTJS, Angular, or one such of the JavaScript library. ReactJS is the most used one, and if you just get into any job website, you can see that ReactJS is the one like which is mostly asked by many companies. That is because of its user-driven approach. And one more thing I just want to keep you posted before winding up this is, I want to explain you by showing some website, and I also want to tell you like how the web page of the ReactJS is being looking like that. You can also open a Facebook, and for here, like I'll do is I'll open one of the sample ReactJS website, and I'm just going to show you like how it looks like. So I am opening this website react.rocks, which is being developed by the ReactJS. This is one such example. So over here you see the website, right? So in this website, each and every component, this one is a component section. This one is a component, this one is a component, like that. So when you are getting into this website, it is bringing all this component that is shown over here. And inside this also somewhere else, this particular components can also be used. The reusability is there. So once you click on the component, it will be opened, and which is another component. So ReactJS is something like user-driven architecture built on components like this. So this is one thing I just want to keep you posted. And thanks for watching. Please feel free to subscribe. In the tutorials, we will get into practical knowledge and gain some practical knowledge on it. Over here, I just want to keep you posted, like with some introductions about this series and introduction about ReactJS and about myself. That is what I want to achieve over here. And I'll make sure each and every day you just spend only 10 minutes. Maybe at the time of installing and other things and all, it would consume more time. But apart from that, you just have only 10 minutes a day. You will learn each concepts, even including practical knowledge about it. That's it. Thanks, and have a nice day. Hello everyone, welcome to the second tutorial in the series of Complete Guide to ReactJS. So in this tutorial we are going to see how to set up a workspace for ReactJS. So before setting up a workspace ReactJS, there are two prerequisites that you have to do. One is you have to download Node.js, and this is the link where you can able to download the Node.js. I have also created a separate explained like how you need to run the Node.js in your local machine after download, and how to verify whether the node is installed in your machines properly or not. So those link I'll provide in the description tag so that you can take a look at the particular video where you have to download Node.js. But keep in mind, like, Node.js is one of the prerequisites that you need to download based on your environment, and Windows, Mac or Linux, you need to download the same, and based on whether it is 32-bit or 64-bit, you need to download in your workspace. And the second thing you have to do is you have to download Visual Studio Code, and this is not Microsoft Visual Studio. So most of them would get confused with Microsoft Visual Studio. This is Visual Studio Code, though it is Microsoft applications, but certain people, I mean, they would get confused with Microsoft Visual Studio, and hence I want to keep you posted on the same. So over here, you have to choose like which machine is yours, like whether it is Linux, Mac or Windows. Based on that, to install your 64-bit or 32-bit like that. And I have also created one video for downloading the Visual Studio Code. So the link for that I'll post it in description tag. And after downloading these two and getting installed, so you have to open the Visual Studio Code. So once you open the Visual Studio Code, so what it would appear is it would appear a startup screen like this. So over here you can add your workspace folder, or you can open a specific folder if you're up, or you can just give normally add the folder for workspace. And I have already created one. So for this tutorial, just to show you guys, I'll also create one more folder so that you will be aware of like how to create it. This I'm going to give React Tute like that, and I'm just going to click on add. Once I clicked on add, what happens is your Visual Studio Code is mapped to this particular folder, and this folder would be the root folder of your workspace. So whatever you are developing, whatever you are doing, so everything would be this particular root folder. So initially it would take up some time if it is the start. So it is already created the tutorial folder, so I'm going to cancel this. So one first thing what you have to do is go to terminal and click on terminal. So by this way, what you are doing is you are making sure that your studio code is mapped to this folder. So at first, at the welcome page, we have added folder that is nothing but to map the folder over here in the project. But over here in terminal also, you have to make sure that your terminal is pointed to the right path. So just went to terminal and I have clicked on a new terminal. By default, it would give you the terminal path wherever you mapped initially, but in some cases it would not happen. So be confident on that to check whether your local path is mapped to the path that you have initially created or not. So now I am confident that the React folder whichever I have created, yes, it has been mapped there. Perfect. So after doing this, I have to execute only one single command to, make your React app up and running in local. Just only one small command. That is nothing but npx create hyphen react hyphen app and app name. So I am going to give app like this and click on enter. That's it. You don't have to do anything. It would load all the commands and what are all the things that needs to be done from React.js, and then it would eventually also show you the browser tagging your local host 3000. And while doing this, you have a good internet connections. Without having a good internet connections, it would huge amount of time. So I have executed the command, and it is initializing your local PC to load all the contents, whatever it is required to set up the workspace, ReactJS workspace. So I'm going to wait for it. Yeah, the installation has got started. So right now I have connected my Ethernet and my desktop and my laptop, and with that itself it is taking so much amount of. So if you are having a Wi-Fi connections, just verify you have a healthy Wi-Fi because it is going to take some time. And meanwhile interruption is happening, like Wi-Fi connection is not sure, you delete this folder, create a new folder, map it, and execute this npx create react app command, because sometimes due to lack of internet connections, certain files won't be transferred, and when you're executing your code somewhere else, like it would throw some exceptions and we won't have any idea about it. So in order to avoid it, make sure that you have a good healthy internet connections and make sure that it doesn't fails over here whenever it is getting downloaded. And one more just want to keep you posted is, certain people will have their not on internet or some high internet security content in your laptop, desktop. So sometimes when you are executing this particular command, npx create react app command, at that time, certain times what happens is your internet wall will block certain app which is getting downloaded from the Node.js or the React.js path. So for that time alone, like it is recommended for you hide or pass the internet security scan so that it downloads the file seamlessly without any issues. So I'm just going to wait for everything to be loaded, and so I pass this tutorial right now, and once everything is good, I'll get back to you again. Hello everyone, welcome back. So it almost took around 45 minutes over here, and right now the completely everything is getting installed. And once and now to verify whether everything is installed perfectly like that is like you will be receiving a message happy at the end of this message. It doesn't mean that you are going to accept, but it's a message that is being stated once everything is getting installed here. So we can verify the application by running npm run start. So I mean, this would run the server, whatever the server over here that is mapped, right? The Node.js server, and it also automatically with the browser at localhost 3000 and it will also show you a nice app saying what is in front. And it is throwing an exception because npm run start should be given a command where package.json is. So over here the package is the React app. So you have to run npm run start at the place where this package.json is being present. So right now we have react underscore dot, but we have created the React app as well, right? So what you need to do right now is in your terminal, you have to give cd and the React app folder that we have created. And from here, what you need to do is you need to run npm run start command in order to make your application up and running. Before running that npm run start, JSON is a file, is the first file that runs in React. This is like a main class in Java, like that. And this is the start of your applications. So in package.json, it will tell you entire details about the applications, like the name of an application, version, and if it is private, it is belongs to yours, and dependency like testing library, React, and what are all the script. Like for example, if I give pm run start, what start means, it is nothing but React script start. All those details would be present over here. Okay, so we are into the React app folder, and let me run npm run start, and that's it. So you click on that npm run start and enter, automatically that what the things that corresponds to the start in package.json would be executed. So how to verify that is, like, yeah, if you see the controller, I mean in the terminal, you will see the React script start. This one is getting run. So it will take some time since this is the first time you are loading your application, right? So it would take some time, and it would start the server. What is that server is nothing but the Node.js server which we have installed. And right now the React app is trying to establish a connection with the Node.js server. So once you clicked on npm run start, what happens is your local React script start would try to see if there is any Node.js is getting installed in the machine or not. So this is the actual place where React app does a lot of work. So right now in your machine, you have installed Node.js in your local machine itself, and hence it is trying to utilize it. But say for example, you are having a Docker applications or any server applications. At that time, how my Node.js or my React app would determine that Node.js need to be installed. So that's where some other applications which is installed in any other server, web inf folder, that is nothing but var folder that would be created, right? Those would be coming into a picture. Please make a note of that as well. So it is still taking some time. Once I clicked on npm run start, it is giving package or JSON. Okay, this is the first one. So I have given the second one, and right now, yeah, perfect. So it is automatically going to localhost 3000. So by this way, you can confirm yourself your local React app application is up and running. So it is still rendering because first time it would take some time. So as of now, it is sure that your server has been started because of this particular message. So it would try to compile all the contents that is present, and in the next tutorial I will explain like in detail like what are all the contents that is present over here like that. So at first what it would try to do is index.js is there, right? This is the start of your applications. So you would have mentioned somewhere else over here what is index.js. So index.js is the first start of the React applications, and at the first start of the React applications, what you are saying is all the contents should be downloaded a component called map. React is a component based architecture, and the contents that is present is components. And over here index.js the root JS, the first JS which is whichever is that is getting index.js. Utilize app.js. App.js is nothing but another component. So the component would be shown by this way, like function app, like that and all. So there are two types of components: functional components and the class components, which is getting vastly used. There are also other components like controllable components, like that and all, which we will see in the upcoming tutorials. But as now, take in mind functional components and the class components alone. Over here, the is another functional components like that. So that is what the ReactJS is all about. So it's still taking time to load the localhost, and yeah. So I'm just waiting to show you the screen saying that what are all the logos have been imported, right? Logos like SVG, which is nothing but React app logo. So it's like a circle that would be examined, a dimensional circle, three-dimensional circle. So that is what it is doing right now. So since it is a start, trying to pull is taking some time over here. And don't give control C, control V, something like that, which would uh, give you an alert message asking you whether you need to come out of the React start of the server like that and all. It would give you a message. So hence don't give control C or control V at the first start of the applications. For it, wait for the contents to get resolved. So I'm just still waiting. If it is going to take more than a minute, I'll this video again and I'll resume once it is up and running. So right now you received the message compiled successfully. So this much amount of time it was taking to compile it. So at first time when you're starting the application, it would say it would take some time. So let me get into the browser and see what is coming. I'm also going to reload this. If this is taking more time, you can also open another tab and mention localhost there. So the image, whichever that is getting loaded, if it is taking time, it will consume lot amount of time in loading the applications. That's what it is happening right now. Since it is a three-dimensional applications, the image, it is taking time to load the localhost. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a new and localhost if this is not getting over here. Perfect, it came. So only for the first time it would take amount of time, and the second time and third time you can load it very fine over here. So this is 3D actually. This is why, that is the reason like why it is taking so much amount of time. So these contents are getting loaded from app.js, which is an component, root component, or you can call it as parent component. From there, it would be called some other components like that. It would go on. So like that, you can call as many number of components you want. So I have got into a new tab, and right now I posted local. Right now it's perfect. Only for the first time, sticking. Seen like how to install Visual Studio Code. We have seen how to install Node.js, and we also seen like how to open a new folder in the Visual Studio Code. And then later we made the React app up and running in our local. So I don't want to skip anything. I want to be there with you guys till like whatever the things that is happening. And hence I have not, in any content of it, and just posted only the video of installing it. So feel free, like if there is any doubt, please post that in the correct reply you as soon as possible. And please feel free to subscribe this channel as well. If I add any videos, you will get notified. That's it. Thank.
Hello everyone, welcome to the third tutorial in this series to ReactJS video playlist. In this tutorial, we are going to see what are the other ways to create the React app which we have created using npx create react app command in the last tutorial. So I've seen in the last tutorial, like we have just used the command npx create react app and with the browser localhost 3000 and you found the application up and running. What happens at the back end? What is there in that particular command that you executed in your terminal that I've created a React app and your browser was up and running? So all these informations are available in Webpack and Babel way of creations. So I have classified the React app creation into two. One is through npx create react app command, another way is through Webpack and Babel. The reason is each and way of creating a React app has its own importance, which we are going to see in our next slide. Using npx command, we have created a React app, but say for example, it is a case where you want some var to be present at some place and it should be written in React code, and say for example you need to write your business logic separate in such a way like manipulation with respect to calculations or certain round of web services that needs to be called. What happens like is that npx command whichever executed would provide you all the UI components? No. The reason is we are using, while using the npx command, you have not you have not generated any file which that my application is going to be a var and it is going to be at one place where it will be called by my servers. So over there, when we use the npx command, you remember you have clicked on, we have entered another command npm start where your node engine is acts as a server You would have also seen the command like it going to act as a dev server, right? Your node acts as a middle layer, acts as a server in which React app is and it is seen in the UI. So on a non-enterprise application, you can use a particular command and you can go ahead and take a look at my other series of upcoming tutorials and work on the same. Whereas when you're going for the different way, that is through Webpack way for creating a war, and you want to reuse it by the business logic or by the enterprise application or by the services, you have to go through the Webpack way of creation. So these are the differences. So using Webpack, these are all the advantages. You can create your own bundle and keep your war separate, and business logic can be in some Jazz, or if you are writing a Java code or Python or whatever it is, and you can call this war and it would give you a proper UI like in your front end. So these are all the advantages of the Webpack. So when you are creating a application, React applications, so what things that should be present is Webpack config.js. It's like a main class in Java. This tells what are all the Java that it should enter as the first point of contact, and then what are all the HTML files it needs to be loaded and what to be loaded. And this what to be loaded would be a JSX file. JSX is the form in which React files would be mentioned, and this would how JSX loads is like an index, like an HTML in which it embeds. It would be embedded as a JSX and it would get displayed. So these are all the contents and these are all the things that would be covered in the upcoming tutorial. I'm explaining you this since I want you guys, whoever referring this tutorial, wants to know when to use Px command to create the React app applications and when to use Webpack version of creating a React app applications. And hence the reason I have started this tutorial before getting into my next topic. In this slide you can take a look. So when you click on the browser, you have seen the beautiful React that is surrounded in the last tutorial, right? It was just buffering. So how it buffered is, it was just a static HTML page. In the static HTML page, the React DOM, which was present in our main.js, like it's a JSX, like which was rendering that dynamic manipulation of some circle over there. So in our next tutorial, I'll explain you more in detail like how this comes in front end with the Hello World program. And as of now, just make sure that React DOM is the main component that is present inside the HTML, which brings you some contents in front end, and it would give you a beautiful look of a React applications. That's all from my end in this tutorial. If you have any questions or comments, you can just put it over here in this video and I'll take a look, and if there is any questions, I'll answer the same as much as I can. Thanks and have a nice day. We'll see you in next tutorial. Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth tutorial in this series of complete guide to ReactJS. In this tutorial, I'm going to explain how to install a React app using Webpack. In the second tutorial, I have explained how to create a React app using npx command, and in the third tutorial, I have explained you like what are all the classifications that can be done or to create a React applications, And in this tutorial, I'm going to explain that, like the second classification, which is nothing but creating a Webpack, creating a React using Webpack. So at first, what I have done is I have created a new folder called React using a Webpack, and then I opened it through open folder, and it had opened it for me. And second thing, what I have to do is I have to go to the terminal window. The terminal window, I have to click on new terminal so that it loads it to me. So these are the first step. The second step, what we are going to do is we are going to create a new folder in which all the Webpack components will be bundled. So we create a new folder by using this particular command prompt. And in the command prompt, like which is nothing but mkdir app. Then I have to go to that particular app. So once you got into this app, so the very first point for each and every JavaScript application is your package.json file. So how to run this package.json? I'll get it. How to create it? It is not we going to create the package.json. We have a simple command that is nothing but npm init to install package to create a package.json, which is nothing but the entry point of any JavaScript applications, which tells more about your. So once you give npm init and click on enter, it will ask you for a few questions. Let it get pop up. I'll wait for it. Yeah, over here it is asking for the package name. I'm just going to give my app as the package name, and the version you can just mention it as 1.0.0. Maybe later, if we are upgrading our app based on this tutorial, we will modify the version as well. If you want to give any descriptions, you can give over here. And the entry point is index.js, which is not going to change right now. And if you want any test commands like karma test and objection test, you can mention the test commands over here by default, which will make sure that whenever your application is up and running, this test command is getting executed. In case your application or the Webpack is going to be built based on a specific folder in your source control, at that time you have to mention any URL over here. And click on keywords. I'm not going to take any keywords or any. I'm not going to use any keywords in my application. So I'm just going to click on enter. Author. I'm just going to mention my name as an author. You can mention your name for it. And concerns. I'm just giving it as MIT. It's nothing but like just a small name. Like it is not mandatory that you have to give a MIT. Except the app name, everything is not mandatory over here. And if you click on yes, your package.json will be created. And how to verify it? Once you open this app, and yeah, it is already there. If not getting loaded, just click on the refresh button. If you open this package.json, whatever the things that we entered, right, like it is already been there. And this would become as an entry point for any Java related app which is up and running. It acts as a starting point which tells about our applications. And after updating this, the next thing that we need to install is a React module itself. So I'm going to use this command npm install and React. What this does is the React modules would be downloaded and it would be based in my node modules, which right now we receive over here. But once I execute this command, it would be over here. What it does is it downloads the React module which is present in the internet and it places over, and we can React this module in our JS file in our code, and we can use that module to bring a lot of React kind of components in our applications. So when I say I'm using React, that means I need to have some library kind of thing, right? So this particular command installs that. And apart from that, I am also going to install another module which is nothing but React DOM. So React DOM and React both comes in hands in hand. What does React DOM does is each and every HTML element which is present will be passed as a DOM. So those type of contents, like say for example, you want to render a particular element, you will be using this particular this command so that it would get used and render the components, and it would show in your UI. And once this is done, the next is the most important thing, which is nothing but Webpack itself. What is Webpack module? So I'm going to install the Webpack by saying npm install Webpack. So Webpack is nothing but the tool which bundles all your components like JavaScript, CSS, and your HTML into a single folder. It's a tool, single folder. It would bundle all in one, and it would bring you in browser with the help of Babel. So this particular Webpack need to be installed. I already said you in the previous tutorial that it would be bundled. If you want to bundle it as a var, you can also do that. And for that, what we are using is this particular Webpack module. And how to install this particular Webpack module is by using the command npm Webpack. So once this module is being installed, there are a couple of other modules that also we need to install as a part of this tutorial, and they are nothing but Dev Server and Webpack Client. What is Webpack Dev Server and what is Webpack Client? So over here, you have modules Webpack, and as I said earlier, the Webpack is all the components in the front. But in order to bring that in front, there is some components itself which should be present. Those are nothing but Webpack Dev Server. Inside that itself, it will act as a server engine, and Webpack CLI, which would act as a client. And these components also need to be installed so that your Webpack is available thoroughly. Say for example, when you are installing React, you also install React DOM, right? Like that, when you are installing Webpack, you also need to install these two modules. So I'm going to mention those two modules in my next command. As of now, let's wait for this to be completed. I'll wait for it, and from this command onwards, I just execute it in the single command itself. When I say single command, in a single line, so that we don't have to do that. You also have a note that whenever I am just installing anything, right, you will see that it is automatically added in your package.json as well. So what it does, so say for example, tomorrow one of your colleague also wants to install an application. If he just imports this package.json, and if he just enters npm install here, it would automatically installed over here rather than I'm executing the command each and every time, right? So that is not needed, and that is the reason like why it is getting loaded as a dependencies over here. This is telling that these are all the dependencies that is present for creating a Webpack be kind of like web applications. So the next thing what I do is, as I said earlier, I'm going to install npm install webpack webpack hyphen CLI, and I am also going to execute few other things. Those are nothing but Babel, which I will explain you what is Babel and what is Babel is used for. Babel, I load and space. I am also going to Babel hyphen reset hyphen env hyphen Babel hyphen react, and that is last Babel hyphen reset hyphen react is there, and HTML webpack plugin. So once I click on all the stuff, I'm just going to click on enter. So I've explained you what is webpack and webpack CLI is used for and how it comes along with the webpack. The webpack dev server latest is not in the npm registry. Let me install npm install webpack dev server alone and see what happens. Sometimes it occurs like, yeah, now it is getting installed. Yeah, so no, not found. Also install Java folder HTML error or get error. If you look at executed, you can able to see